As a Scrum Master, one of the common questions I hear is whether or not it is necessary to learn how to use tools like Jira to be a successful Scrum Master. I will give you my honest opinion about this, and I will provide you with a free PDF document, which is a comparison of the 20 popular Agile tools, free and paid, and I will share all that in just a second. But first, let me share this story. A few years ago, I was working in a Scrum team on a project that involved developing a new game for a client. The team is in the middle of a sprint, and we were struggling to come up with a good name for the game. We were brainstorming for hours, but we couldn't seem to agree on anything. And suddenly, I had an idea. We opened up a Jira and created a new issue titled Game Name Suggestions. I then assigned the issue to the entire team with a due date of the end of the day. The team members all start adding their suggestions to the issue in Jira, and as they do, they upvote and downvote each other's idea. They also start commenting on each other's suggestions and discussing the pros and cons of each name. As the day goes on, the team becomes more and more immersed in the issue. They start getting creative and silly with their suggestions, throwing out a name like Fluffy Unicorn Adventure, Ninja Cat Battle Royale, and Kangaroo Kickboxing. Okay, so by the end of the day, we came up with a dozen of hilarious and creative game names ideas. We voted on our favorites and submitted the idea to the client, who loved it. So as you can see, the use of Scrum tools like Jira helped our team to collaborate and come up with a great idea in a funny and engaging way. It also provided a decentralized location for the team to organize our ideas and discussions. While this may be a very simple example, it shows how the use of Scrum tools can make the Agile process more enjoyable and effective for everyone involved. Okay? Now, let me share what I believe if it is necessary to learn tools like Jira if you are just starting as a Scrum Master. While it's true that the Scrum Guide does not mention anything about the use of any specific tool, it's important to consider the benefits that these tools can bring to the Agile or Scrum process. Firstly, it's important to recognize that tools like Jira can help manage team backlogs, track progress, visualize work in progress, but they are not the essence of Scrum. The fundamental values and principles of Scrum can be applied regardless of the specific tools used. And the primary focus should always be on delivering value to the customer through iterative and incremental development, right? However, it's also true that many companies use these tools in their Scrum processes, and therefore, as a Scrum Master, I do believe it's important to be familiar with at least one of those tools. Okay? Now, in the description just below this video, you can download a detailed overview of the popular Agile tools. The concept is pretty much the same. Knowing how to use a tool like Jira can help you to effectively manage and organize team backlogs, track progress, collaborate with stakeholders, and so on and so forth. In this sense, being proficient in these tools can be an asset in your role as a Scrum Master. And learning to use these tools is not as difficult as it may seem. Many of the features and functionalities are intuitive and can be easily learned through practical experience and research. And additionally, many companies offer on-the-job training for these tools, so it's often possible to learn as you go. But please remember that the focus should always be on the Scrum values and principles, not on the specific tools used. Okay? Companies that require the use of specific tools can sometimes deviate from the essence of Scrum, and it is important to ensure that the Scrum framework is being applied correctly and effectively to deliver value to the customer. Finally, you don't necessarily have to be proficient in a specific tool to be a Scrum Master. Start learning one from the attached document just below the video, because I showed you it can be helpful in many cases. In many companies, this is a must-have, and in some companies, these tools are nice to have. Again, as a Scrum Master, it is important to keep the focus on the values and principles of Scrum and to apply the framework in the most effective way possible, whether that involves the use of specific tools or not. Okay? Now, go ahead, download your PDF with a list of available Agile tools, and then decide your next steps. Thank you for watching.